dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Put your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Portland Lumberjacks and the Mexico City Diablos. Set for football now on a rainy Sunday afternoon. And we are underway from Mexico City. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go now.
First carry for Darius Geis. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be in. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On third down, Winston dumps it off for Geis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Now they try the right side here. Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. On 1st and 10, Winston. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. On 1st down, this is Geis. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening drive. 3rd and goal. To throw, Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Kaiser now. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Kaiser now from the 50. And his pass incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Oh, Kaiser can't get away, and he'll go down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Take it at the 37. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Kaiser now to throw on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Kaiser. He sets up the screen to Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker. A 1st down throw for Kaiser.
steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Kaiser to throw it. That is caught at the 7. And he will take it in for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing, Winston. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great play there. 63 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First down, Kaiser. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action now, Kaiser. And he goes down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Flex round! Flex round!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. They'll try and get it with Geis. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I go ahead and punt the football myself.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second down, Kaiser. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tennis. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And here now the offense heading back out there. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Winston on 3rd and 2. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Kaiser on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Kaiser. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. Look at the spin. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And his throw here's incomplete. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw now for Kaiser. Oh, Kaiser can't get away, and he'll go down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Kaiser. And the pressure gets to him again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play. Holding them to no gain.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. First down, Winston. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He finds Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. From the red zone now, Winston. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch.
And a loose football. And the defense says they have it. Yes, they've got it. And at this stage in the game, sure, you wanted the touchdown. You're already in the red zone, but boy, you squandered a chance to at least get the field goal there, so no points out of this, and we stay tied.
Very disappointed team. No one more disappointed than the kicker who thought he had a chance to be the hero of the day. All they had to do is trot him out on the field. They didn't even give him an opportunity.
Kaiser now after the fumble recovery. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Kaiser now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Kaiser. Throw left side complete. That's Fisher. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it, they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on third. This is taken at the 23. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Jameis to throw it. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This is fielded at the 27. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. Throwing again is Kaiser on second and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
They'll hand it out to Geis. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Got some room at the 30. Whoosh. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
They go play action. Kaiser. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The give is to Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Off the play fake, Kaiser. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, Winston. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On the handoff, it's Geis. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt. Their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Kaiser. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Now a run with Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun. Winston dumps it off for Geis. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. Boy, a 3rd miss of the game right there. By rights, they could be high and dry right now, but instead, this is still a ball game.
And defensively here, you can't let this affect you. You've got to go out and do your job, not worry about someone else's.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kaiser again. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
Back to throw. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Back to throw. His throw incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there on third down. 48 yards. Now a first down carry by Jones. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Ohio! Ohio!
He's back to throw. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Portland, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.